All right, so UFC 330 just finished up, and we have a lot to talk about. Of course, we're going to get into the main event. Garry absolutely showed out. He did what I expected him to do. We also have Barboza retiring. Unfortunately, a lot of people do not know who Barboza is, or some of his prime years.
Look at
Barboza was
this.
an
Look
absolute
at this.
fucking killer, man. Look at this. I mean, that is honestly one of the biggest examples why fighter pay should be more.
We
There's
didn't do
no
anything
reason
wrong.
why
Yes, you
Edson Barboza,
scumbag.
I'm pretty
There
sure
is
he's
a
over
problem.
40. I'll put his fucking age up on the screen. There's no reason why he should have been stepping in there. Fight losing in a row. And it's just sad to see a legend, an absolute legend like Edson Barboza, go out like that. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet because I bet he remembers when he was on top and he was the next person being asked, hey, who do you want to face next? And, hey man, it's just a sport. It's just a game that you play. Ribbex didn't really look too good. His hands weren't really too good. Decent kicks. He would switch stances a lot, but it wasn't really meaningful. Barboza, whenever they get into exchanges, he has a bad tendency of leaving his hands down. And he's over swings like hell. Anyways, it was a great career of Edson Barboza in his later half. It was very unfortunate to see the way that he lost, but hey, he put out some fucking words with Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker's another one who's been around for a while. His retirement, he can find what he needs because Barboza was a fucking stud, man. That guy was a badass. I think it was
I
Anderson Silva or
back.
somebody that
Trust me.
after they
I
retired
back.
became a police officer. Hey, it'll be badass to see fucking Edson Barboza as a police officer. But, just ways to keep money coming in so he doesn't go crazy. Literally in the first round, he started looking tired after about a couple fucking exchanges. You see him circling and he would be a bit more labored in his steps. Also, Barboza's, if you apply pressure to him, he's not really the best pressure fighter. Like I said, he keeps his hands down whenever he wants to exchange. But he does have a decent jab. He does have a decent jab. I'll give him that. Apply pressure to him. That's Barboza's weakness. If you apply pressure to him, his hands are not great. But, man, you better watch out for those fucking spinning kicks. He has great lead leg switch kicks. He has great leg kicks. They were exchanging leg kicks for a bit. But if Barboza was in his prime, this guy would get fucking washed. We're on to the next. Next fight up on the main card was Malik versus Stozville. So I've seen Malik fight before. He was decent, did not have good hands, but power can make up for that at a lower level. But what I know from him was he was a wrestler. So going into this fight, I had no idea who Stozville was. But Abdul Malik is not the best at standing up, so I thought if he keeps it standing, he can possibly catch him on the hands. He's pretty reckless defensively. Shots are really loopy. He showed a better jab though, but from the opening bell, you could tell he was not confident in his hands at all. And when he went, it was really more so looking for power. It seemed like he wanted to really overwhelm him with power rather than actually picking his shots. Crazy because I've seen he trains with Eric Nixick. So yeah, of course they worked on it. He showed a better jab. I feel like his hands got better, but man, he's a big guy, and he gets tired quick. And, Malik is another one that gets pretty wild in some of his exchanges. And also, whenever he does throw, he tends to abandon a bit of his defense. Not a bit, a fucking lot of his defense. He keeps his hands down, and that's what got him caught. And also because he was tired, the guy was pressuring him. He got tired, but either way, good shit to them. I don't think that takes away from their stock. Malik is now on a two-fight losing streak. That's unfortunate because he was undefeated. So now he's on a two-fight losing streak. Let's see how we bounce back from it. It's full. He's now 17-6. Good shit to him. His stock went up for sure. He showed heart because he got hit hard. Something that I didn't like was, I believe it was a punch or maybe a kick that Malik landed on Stozville. And he's like, hey, I got something in my eye. And he was like, hey, the ref ain't stopped. He's like, nah, I'm about to fuck you up. And he landed right hand. I feel like that's really the moment that woke him up. It's like, damn. It's like, fuck it. I'm not showing you no mercy after. But good shit to him. That was a pretty good fight. It was a very huge upset. Next fight, this motherfucker was short. But Jalen Turner versus Fernandez. Jalen Turner, man, it was unfortunate to see him retire. Funny enough, I didn't really watch the fights when he lost. I'm not sure what the fuck I was doing, but yeah, no, man, he's 6'3", he's tall as fuck to be at 155. Has the length, has great hooks. I think that's honestly one of his best attributes besides his kicks and his lengths, his elbows, is his hooks. He has tight hooks. A bit reminiscent of Alex Pereira, but different, man. It's like a bit of a shovel hook. But Fernandez, I remember his stance. There really wasn't much to fucking watch. This guy just destroyed through him. But remember, I believe there was a good leg kick that he landed. Wasn't too much to see from him. Good fight, exciting. Good to see Jalen Turner back in the win column. I don't know what's up with all these fighters talking about Jesus, man. I don't know what's going on with all that. I don't know if Jesus told you to come back in the ring and come back in the octagon and give people brain damage. But hey, good shit to the brother. He did good. Let's get on to the next fight. Mackenzie Durn versus Julian Robertson. Man, Julian Robertson had me fucking hyped. Me and my wife were, oh my gosh, coming out to 50 Cent. Okay, I was like, all right. She had that shit. She had that look like she was ready. Unfortunately, she wasn't fucking ready. With her, it's kind of like with Holloway when he first started, except Holloway would actually land his strikes. Hit a volume, not really too much power. Seen that in the first round. I was like, okay, like she actually has a good chance of winning. Kind of like when Juliana Pena upset Amanda Nunes. A lot of times, really, all you need is enough defense, good enough defense to apply pressure, not get caught, not get taken down in a jab. That's basically what won Juliana Pena her title against Amanda Nunes. So I thought this was going to be another display of that. I was fucking wrong. He missed. This motherfucker missed. She missed. And when she did land, it barely had anything on it. I'm not sure if it's just her frame. I mean, she's a pretty small girl. So I'm not sure if it's just her attributes, but man, it's like she wasn't even turning her hips or even turning her shoulder, nothing. Like she was just like touching her like little cotton balls, fucking fruity pebbles she was throwing at her. Man, she had cardio. She was determined and she did not quit. And I love it, but it wasn't enough. Mackenzie Durn beat her. Man, Mackenzie Durn was on her fucking back like a snake, like a monkey on your back. You turn here, she's going the other way. You turn here, and man, her grip on you is really good. She's fucking great at jiu-jitsu. Good job to Mackenzie Durn. It wasn't a boring fight. It wasn't the most exciting, but I mean, if you're a fan of the sport, if you support the sport, if you appreciate the actual art of it, that is a fight that you enjoyed. Not too much though. I'm not gonna lie. But she came back in the fifth round. Mackenzie Durn was tired. Like I said, that's really all you need. But she just didn't have the power and the ability to actually land, which is so fucking crazy. Like how the fuck Dean Thomas really get them out there? Like how the fuck you get her out there like that? Like she had to be missing the sparring. Hopefully that doesn't deter her. And see what she has next. Mackenzie Durn needs to be fighting Zhang Wei Li. Where the fuck Wei Li at? And the last fight is the main event. Ian Garry versus Islam Makachev, Brazil versus Russia, Brazil, Ireland versus Russia. Great fight. Once again, not the most exciting, but if you love the sport, if you love to see technique, this is a fight that you enjoy. Islam's a fucking stud. He was starting off with the calf kicks, going low, boom. I thought it was a good plan. Ian Garry wasn't moving too much, which I found interesting. But hey, it worked for him. You have the height. We don't need to be backing up and using up all this energy, and that's why he had a lot more energy than him in the later rounds. It's because he wasn't really backing up. He wasn't letting them. You want that space, you have to earn it. So he made Islam earn a space, and that's what Islam did. But he had a very hard time closing the distance. I see a lot of people talking about Miles Morales or Michael Morales, whatever the fuck the guy's name is, versus Islam. Honestly, if you ask me, I don't think that's really like, yeah, he could land an uppercut, a hook, but Ian Garry's a different type of fighter. He's a smart fighter, right? It's not always the power that wins everything, right? With Malik, a lot of times it's the technique, it's the smarts, it's the distance. Ian Garry can move his feet. He can move his head. For the most part, he stays pretty defensively sound. Besides when he got hit with that head kick, when he left his hands down. I didn't make a video before this, but when I first heard about the fight being announced, Ian Garry was my pick. For the simple fact, Islam is usually used to fighting people that are his height, shorter. He's not really used to people that have that range on him. That's one of the reasons why John Jones was so fucking good. John Jones was not only tall, but he knew how to use his attributes to his advantage. Rather if it was elbows as you coming in, fucking stomps to your leg, obliques, side kicks to the body, side kicks to the knee, going up top, kicks to the body, elbows, jabs, takedowns, clinch, whatever it is to mix it up. And John Jones can also move. That's the same with Ian Garry. The only difference is Ian Garry didn't really go too much for it, but you're really gonna do that against Islam, somebody who's that great at slipping underneath straights, slipping underneath jabs. If you get too comfortable with your hands, you understand what I mean? Anyways, the first round was pretty smooth. Um, it was Islam's round. Took him down, very reminiscent of Conor McGregor. It's exactly what was going through my mind the entire time. I was like, damn, this is almost exactly like Conor. Then he got dropped in the second round like Conor too. I was like, oh shit. But it was the same sequence, the same beginning sequence as Conor, except Conor, man, this is how crazy Conor was in his prime. Against fucking Khabib, the undefeated fighter that he is, the aura that he brings within itself. Conor said, I want that shit from the very beginning. If you want space, you have to earn that shit. So he got in his fucking face, threw more strikes. Right? I think he started off a head kick. Boom, boom, boom. He's bringing it to him. Ian Garry, on the other hand, you don't always need strikes in order to add pressure, right? His presence, the tall length, okay, you want to come in, you got to get past this, you got to get past my lead hand. Oh yeah, the first round went to Islam. Wasn't too much, held him down. Like I said, very reminiscent of the Conor fight. Second round came, Ian was winning. Islam has a hard time getting through that range. But just because you're tall does not mean you know how to use your range. Ian Garry's one of those fighters that can use it. I honestly don't think Miles Morales beats him. He said Miles fucking Michael Morales beats him. Haven't really seen too much of his footwork, but I don't think he can move in the same way that Ian can move. Ian Garry's really fucking good, and that's what he showed in this fight. He also showed good recovery after that head kick landed. Islam's a different type of grappler. He's not, some of these fighters will really just hug you. Like, really just hug you. Islam, granted, he didn't do too much. He's moving up in weight, got to carry on that extra weight. You up against a taller opponent. Round three, I believe from round three on was really when Ian Garry started to take over. But Ian Garry did a really good job of keeping his lead hand out and stopping Islam from getting through. The thing is, man, and that's the thing about a lot of the MMA fighters, a lot of their hands aren't good. A lot of their boxing is not where it should be. So Islam's usually used to, like I said, having somebody that's his height and not really having to worry about, okay, now I got to slip in through here, go to the body. And that's what makes Ilia Topuria so fucking good. The UFC has a lot of fucking talent. And Islam is one of those, man. This guy Islam is one of the fucking greats. I didn't really like Khabib too much. You know, I was a big Conor guy. But as I grow older and, start to get, feelings and shit out of it, this guy Islam becomes one of the greats. Unfortunately, he beat Anderson Silva's fucking record. I'm not happy about that. I'm not. I wanted that shit to stay there. And Ian Garry could have honestly did it. Not gonna lie to you, he could have done it, but like I said, you can't get too overzealous because that's the shit that gets you taken down. But guy Islam was breathing heavy, man. He was breathing heavy. Garry was landing some good body kicks, head kicks. Man, I just feel like if he took that outside foot a little bit earlier, when it's the orthodox versus southpaw, and the orthodox fighter takes that outside foot on the lead leg of the southpaw fighter, man, I feel like if he would have just boom and then ripped that fucking right hand right there, the right hand earlier in the fight, honestly, I feel like it would have been a different fight. But things played out the way that they did. Nobody could do the shit that they do. At least at their level, no, nobody. These guys are one of ones. Same with Ian Garry and same with Islam. Great fucking fight. Seen a lot of people talk about Ian Garry's too much of a nice guy. He's too nice. Yeah, and I mean, you're not really used to it. I wasn't used to that shit. I'm like, hey, but man, I fucking love it. We just had a boxer die from his long battle with the brain damage that he got from a boxing fight. I forget about the other boxer. that I believe was undefeated as well. And man, your life can be changed in a fucking second. We've seen what happened with Anthony Smith. Just the damage that you take, I think is very respectable. So honestly, I feel like a lot of the hate with Ian Garry is honestly forced. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't dislike the guy. And after he said the thing about women ruling the world, now granted, I don't know about the whole world, right? But there are different countries to where women are in very high up positions, to where a woman is the highest ranking person, a part of that government or a part of that country. I don't think what he was saying was wrong. Now, the whole world, though, let's not get it, right? But I don't also think that men should be ruling the whole world. But I mean, what do you expect? It's the MMA community, and this is the shit that they like to regurgitate. But yeah, as far as his performance, he did a great job. So did Islam. Honestly, I don't even know what's next for Ian Garry. I think he beats Miles Morales pretty comfortable. We already seen him school Carlos Prates. You don't need to see that shit again. Carlos Prates is really good. It's just Ian Gary's a different level. Yes, you have power, and Carlos Prates does not have power, but he's precise with his shots. But can you also be precise when somebody's taking you down? Can you also be precise when it's somebody that's your same height? Can you also be precise when it's somebody that knows how to move? Ian Garry is probably, what is it? I don't think MVP's at welterweight. I think he's probably the best, like literally the best striker in that whole division for the simple fact that he can put it all together. But I'm not sure what's next for him. Like how he said, he's 28, he's young, he can get back to it. This will not be then, especially with a mind like that. As far as for Islam, honestly, he should retire.